Hey, what's up guys? I am so sorry about that. I want to use an external microphone for these live streams, but I had a problem with it last time. It was minor, where I just heard like a couple kind of loud noises, so I tried to like secure it a little bit better this time, and it seems to have backfired on me. So what's up Z, what's up Erica, what's up Braden? Can you guys hear me okay right now? I just want to make sure I'm not using an external mic. I am outside, it might be a little bit windy. This isn't exactly what I had planned, but I'm gonna roll with it. If you guys are having trouble hearing me, let me know. Can you guys see me? What's up VX King, Emra, dude, so many comments already. What's up guys? If you can, one of you guys just leave a comment. Let me know if you can see me okay. Okay, awesome. Mauro, thank you, man. You guys can see me. Perfect. I'm just going to roll with this. If you guys can hear me, you can see me. I don't necessarily need to see myself. It actually makes the comments you guys are leaving a lot easier. So thank you guys. So I'm live here in Denver today. Just want to, answer some questions for you guys. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave it in the comments. I'm going to try to get to as many questions as I can today. Just a little bit of background, what I've been up to here in Colorado. Yesterday I actually hiked my first 14er. I did Mount Elbert. It's the tallest peak in Colorado. Really awesome. It was a really strenuous hike, but it was a lot of fun and it was worth the reward for sure. 14,400 feet. I'm beat up today, I'm feeling it, but it was worth it for sure. Another shout out, I am going to be uploading videos to the Board Archive YouTube channel. All the reviews are going to be going on SnowboardProCamp how they have been. The full detailed reviews are going to be up there. But I'm going to do some snowboard highlights, short, minute and a half type videos on my own YouTube channel. So if you guys want to check that out, you can head over to there and subscribe if you'd like. I'd appreciate it. Also, so you guys know, this is a super chat, so if you do have any questions that you really want to get answered, you can make a donation and that question will get pinned to the top of the comments coming through here to make sure I can see it clearly and that I'll be able to get to that question for you guys. Got another video coming out soon, probably next week. It's going to be on the Battalion Fun Kink. You may have seen some of that content already come out in some of Kevin's videos. I've done some Instagram posts on some of the riding I got done on that board. The written review is done. It's not uploaded yet. I'm waiting for the video for me to finish the video. I still have to film the audio. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to film the audio while I was hiking yesterday how I wanted to. It was just too strenuous. There was no way I was going to be able to talk in a reasonable way about that board yesterday. So that'll be coming out probably next week once I get this audio down. Yeah, so let's jump right into a few questions. Let me scroll up here. I saw several questions already. So Only Techers asks, have you ever tried wakeboarding? Thanks for your question, man. I have tried wakeboarding. I think it's a lot of fun. One of my best friends in school has a house. His family has a house in the Outer Banks of North Carolina that I was lucky enough to be able to visit. They've got a little boat. Did some wakeboarding over there. I don't do it often, but it's a lot of fun when I get to do it. Definitely a good way to cross train in the summer. Also wake surfing. The Rosignol rep out here in Colorado has a boat and is kind enough to take me out a couple of times to do some wake surfing on his boat, which was a ton of fun. He has ballast bags that I think he adds like 900 pounds to the boat or something, or more than that, 1,500 or something, and gets a really nice wave going on. So that's a lot of fun. Definitely a good way to cross train in the summer. Thanks for the question, man. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Mauro? Mauro, I'll just answer your question real quick. Do you listen to music when you snowboard? Sometimes, man. When I'm filming the reviews, I don't really listen to music because I'm working with a filmer most of the time, just trying to keep that open line of communication going. I would say the main time I listen to music when I ride is when I'm riding all by myself and I'm just in the zone, just snowboarding just purely just for fun, and that can definitely enhance that. Snowboarding with music is a lot of fun, but you got to be careful. You don't want to be completely oblivious to your surroundings. You know, someone might be hollering at you for some reason that could be really important. So make sure you either do one ear out or you don't have your music so loud that you can't hear people in the background. Awesome, guys. So Jerry Utunyi asks, what do you think about Ruroc helmets? You know, I'm not sure what to think about them, man. I think they're kind of gimmicky, honestly. I don't really think that you need that full face protection when you're snowboarding. I think just a regular helmet is enough, you know, especially if you're wearing a face mask. If you do happen to slide your face on the snow, that's gonna, you know, save you from snowburn. However, I do plan on reaching out to them. I'm hoping to do some content on Ruroc helmets this winter. I'd love to try them out firsthand, see how they feel, see if the goggles fog up, you know, see how heavy it is, see if it makes snowboarding harder, all that type of stuff. So hopefully that'll be coming this season, man. All right, Contra Bass asks, hey TJ, why don't you try streetboarding instead of skating? It's more like snowboarding. Do you know what streetboarding is? I'm not familiar with streetboarding, man. Is that kind of like freeboarding? I know like there's mountain boarding, longboarding, freeboarding, regular skateboarding. I haven't heard of streetboarding though. Maybe after the live stream is over, if you could leave a comment below with a link to check that out, I'll look into it, man. That does sound like fun. All right, Evan does stuff. You have to go to Mammoth, California to snowboard, man. I would love to. Mammoth had an incredible season this year, as I'm sure most of you guys know. They just closed like a week ago or something like that. Pretty crazy. They had an incredibly long season, so much snow this year. I have the Epic Pass this year, so I don't think Mammoth is on that pass, but there are some resorts in California that are on that pass. So hopefully I'll be heading out there this season, and maybe I can stop by Mammoth. Who knows? That would be a lot of fun. Ethan Mailer, what's up, man? Thanks for tuning in, dude. All right, let me scroll up a little bit and see some of the comments that I missed before. You guys have been rolling the comments in. Thank you so much. All right, I got a couple questions in a row that I'll answer real quick. Simon Person, can you varial kickflip? No, I cannot. I can do a regular kickflip. I'm not very good at skateboarding. I don't know if you guys watched the skate vlogs while we were over at Mount Hood, but I just skateboard for fun, man. It's definitely a good way to practice in the off season. It's a lot of fun, but it is pretty high consequence. Just falling on cement hurts a lot more than falling on snow. Even falling on hard ice, I would say cement is just a little bit rougher. Oh man, there was, okay, here's the other question. Oh, I lost it now, I'm sorry guys. So there was another one here. Tyler Miller, how can I get better at jumps? Great question, man, thanks for asking. I think there's a lot you can do to kind of get to the level that you want to be at for jumps. As always, you know, you kind of want to start small and work your way up. So you can do things to practice on flat ground as well. I'd say, you know, you want to make sure you're comfortable popping and ollieing. You can, from there, once you have that motion down, you feel really confident with that. You can start hitting side hits and really small features. Maybe go into the beginner progression park, start hitting jumps in there to get used to finding the speed for jumps. That's a big thing, especially as you start to progress to bigger jumps. You want to make sure that you're comfortable finding the speed. You know, of course, checking out the jump first, seeing how big the gap is, judging how much speed you would need by watching other riders, and then going for it. Typically on jumps, the landings are long enough where there's a pretty wide range of speed. So that would be my best advice. Kind of start small, go up from there, watch other riders, just get comfortable with all the skills along the way. And then learning how to spin is kind of a whole nother ball game. But check out some of the videos on SnowboardProCamp. Kevin's got a lot of videos on the channel relating to that, and they'll definitely help you progress with learning how to jump a little bit more. Thanks for the questions, guys. I saw a lot more questions come in while I was talking just there. I am gonna answer Amanda Ike real quick. What's your top preseason training tips? Thanks for asking, Amanda. So for preseason training, I think you know, getting the body ready, you know, maybe going on some hikes, going skating, surfing, whatever it is you do in the off season, just to kind of get used to intense cardio. Also, anything that helps with balance or air awareness is going to be good for preseason training. So if you have a balance board, that's a great way to practice, especially for rail tricks. Slacklining, if you guys do that, that's another way you can help with balance. Trampolines. Personally, I really enjoy cliff jumping, so if there's a good spot near you to, you know, jump into a body of water, that helps a lot with air awareness, and it's a ton of fun. So things like that. But I would say probably the top two are going to be trampolines and balance boards. Those are going to help a ton for off-season training. And again, on the channel, Kevin has some videos kind of showing how to use I think it's half of a foam roller that he uses, and to kind of help balance on that. All right, I'm gonna scroll up here a little bit, guys. Jackson Banks, what's your #1 tip for a beginner? Easy, man. Watch tons of SnowboardProCamp videos, man. Kevin has got the full spectrum of everything you're gonna need to know for your first day snowboarding. Just consume as much of that content as you can until you feel really confident for your first day riding. Other than that, I would say just master the basics, practice riding switch. Having that base set of skills is gonna really help you out throughout your entire snowboarding life, making learning everything else down the road much easier. All right, Butchick man, what are your tips for big amounts of snow? So for deep snow, for deep POW days, there's a couple scenarios. You could be riding, say you have a daily driver, some kind of twin snowboard. You're gonna wanna, if it's a true POW day, you're really not gonna be on groomers at all. You can actually set your stance back on the twin board, and that's gonna make it where your back leg isn't getting so exhausted, getting that leg burn pretty quickly. So that's a great thing. And if you just wanna keep it twin, say you're gonna be riding on groomers, or you still wanna hit some POW park, keep your weight back. That's gonna help you float on the powder. But the biggest thing that would help you on a POW day is either demoing or renting a POW specific board, or, you know, if you have one in your quiver, riding a POW board. I think that really makes the biggest difference, because you can literally just stand with your weight centered, and your back leg isn't going to be overly fatigued. You're going to be floating on top of that POW. All right, guys, we got more questions coming in. So we got a question from Angry. What's up, Averin? Thanks for tuning in, man. Do you think you could do 100 snowboard reviews in 100 days? You know, I think that would be a heck of an effort. I think if you had the snowboards on deck, and I think I could do it. I think there would definitely be down days. I think there would be 2-for-1 days. I don't know if I would go for that ambitious of a goal, man. I know you've done some stuff like that. Man, Averin, come on, man. All right. Just gonna scroll up here and find another question, man. So, I'm not sure what this name is in another language, but camber versus rocker, what's better for a rookie or for a beginner? A lot of people you'll hear recommend rocker for beginners. I think that can be a good option. Rocker boards tend to be a little bit looser, a little bit more forgiving, a little bit easier to control. But you're going to be sacrificing a lot of stability, and sacrificing the more precise control that you'll get out of a camber board. So I think, if you're riding just a few days out of the year, say like 5 to 10 days, a rocker board could be a good option for you. But personally, I would recommend camber. I think camber is perfectly suitable for a beginner to learn on, especially if you're committed to snowboarding. You're going to be riding a good amount of days out of the year, say 10 to 20 or more. You're going to get used to that camber, and once you start to progress and you start to really be able to control the board, that camber is going to give a much more precise feeling, which I think you'll enjoy once you get used to it. Camber boards also tend to be a little bit poppier and just a little bit more fun for carving and stuff, in my opinion, as well. While we're on the topic, Will Taylor asking, camber or rocker for park? Personally, for park, I prefer like a medium soft to mid flexing camber board. It's super versatile. You can still get presses and butters, still a lot of fun on rails, and it's a little bit better for jumping, in my opinion. You're gonna have a bit more stability on jumps. A rocker board, if you like rocker, if that's what you're used to and you enjoy it, by all means, stick with that rocker board. It's gonna make pressing a lot easier. And it's gonna be a little bit more forgiving, a little more catch-free on rails potentially, but personally I would prefer a camber snowboard. All right, so I'm gonna scroll up, guys. You guys have been just asking so many questions. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna scroll up quite a ways here. Give me just a minute, guys. So, man, I saw a question that I wanted to answer and I cannot find it, man. I would give you a shout out, but I can't find your comment, so I'm gonna combine two in one here. Someone asked, why do I ride Union bindings? And Max Russell is asking best park bindings. So I personally ride Union bindings just because I think that they come in at a really good price point, and they have, for the value that you get, the features that you get are really great for the price point that they come at. So say like a very similar Burton binding or some other brand, it's going to be a good binding too, I'm sure. It might be a little bit more, but with Union you're going to get things like, except for on the lower end stuff, which is still good, but I'm going to stick to like the mid-range bindings from Union. So say like the Union Contact, which is the binding that you'll see in pretty much all the review videos. It's actually the Union Super Pro, but it's based off the Union Contact. You get a lifetime warranty on the base plate and heel cup, and all of their bindings have an adjustable heel cup, so you can like slide the heel cup in and out to really get your boot centered perfectly over the footbed to try to really eliminate any heel or toe drag, which is awesome. You'll also get stuff like mini disc base plate. I know there's other companies out there doing that, but the mini disc, it's basically just a smaller base plate that the hardware goes into to mount to the board. It's going to provide a more natural flex by reducing the dead zone in the snowboard. So with the wide base plate, the standard size, that whole zone, the board isn't able to flex. So it's kind of a dead zone for flex. So the smaller base plates help minimize that and just get a more natural flex out of the snowboard. Also, some of the bindings have EVA foam on the bottom. You get magnesium buckles, and they just come in at a great price. So I really like Union bindings. All right, Jerry, is the Solomon Huck Knife a good board for beginners? I would say so, man. As you all know, that is Kevin's personal board. And I have been able to ride it. I think it's a great board. I would say it's like a medium soft flexing board, so it's definitely not too aggressive for a beginner. It's camber underfoot, a little bit of rocker in the tips, and the tips get nice and playful on the Huck Knife. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it to beginners. It's easy to control. It's stable between the feet because of that camber. It's not too soft, so it's going to be pretty versatile, and the playfulness in the tips is going to make stuff like pressing and butters and rail tricks a little bit easier. So definitely would recommend the Huck Knife to all of you guys out there, including beginners. All right, Braden Abbott, do you prefer watching style or people hucking triple corks? Honestly, man, I have an appreciation for both. you know, a lot of people hate on the progression of snowboarding going towards just spinning more, spinning bigger, you know, spin to win, kind of getting a gymnastic kind of feel. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that, man. You know, snowboarding can progress in many different directions, and you know, that's an obvious direction for it to go. And plus, you know, seeing someone huck a quad cork is pretty incredible. I mean, it is a very gymnastic-like thing to do, but it's insane. You know, I give a lot of credit to the guys out there doing that. But I do prefer watching stylish riders overall. I would say, you know, I'd prefer watching someone do like a real stylish back five than a quad cork. That's kind of where I stand on the situation, I'd say. All right, KJ Hash, I have the custom. Is it good for park? Great question, man. Thanks for asking. So as you guys might know, I recently did a review video on the Burton Custom versus the Burton Process. And I think that the Custom is a good park board. It can be. It's not going to be the best for like technical rail tricks, presses and stuff like that. It is a pretty stiff, burly board. But I really think the Custom is one of the better all mountain boards. And the reason, there's one main reason, or two I guess. It's got a pretty sturdy flex, so you can really pretty much just go as fast as you want, ride really aggressively. It's gonna hold up really well to that type of riding. It's got a mountain twin style shape, so outside the contact points, the nose is gonna be a little bit longer than the tail, but it has a twin flex. And also has a setback stance. So if you're riding in powder, that nose is gonna help float, and the setback stance is also gonna keep your weight a little further back and help you float. Really versatile. But back to your question, if you wanna ride it in the park, you can center your bindings, you can center your stance within the side cut, and because it has that twin flex, it's gonna ride just like a true twin. So it's really versatile, it's a lot of fun, I really enjoyed the board. I definitely think it's a good park board. A little bit more jump oriented if you're gonna be using it as a park board though. All right, Erica Constantino. When do I know when it's time to change my snowboard? Great question, Erica, thanks for asking. So honestly, this could go a few different ways. Obviously, if the board is really beat up, you know, if you have like core shots, which is when you hit a rock and a chunk of the base gets taken out all the way to the wooden core of the snowboard, there's no more base material left. If that starts to happen a lot, you know, the integrity of the board can start to get compromised. Also, with some boards, after you ride them for, you know, several seasons, they can tend to lose a little bit of their pop, get a little bit more flexible, and kind of not quite feel how they used to once they're really broken in. So those could both be situations to get a new snowboard. Or if you've gotten a lot better on that board, you've progressed, and that board's just starting to feel a little bit too weak and flimsy for you, you might want to upgrade your board. Or last scenario, I would say, if you have a twin board, you've really felt it out, you've had a lot of fun on it, but you want a different feel while you're riding, then you could maybe look at something a little more directional, like a free ride snowboard, or some of these new volume shift style boards like the Ride Warpig or K2 Party Platter, or even a powder board. All those can be a ton of fun and definitely good reasons to add a snowboard to your quiver. All right, I'm gonna scroll up a ways. You guys have just had the questions rolling in. Thank you guys so much, I really appreciate it. All right, Daler O'Brien, best jump board and binding / boots. So in my opinion, I really think Battalion and Lobster snowboards are great for jumping. I was able to ride a lot of them last season, and I really was able to feel out that triple base technology. If you don't know, all those boards from Battalion and Lobster have what's called triple base technology. So on the nose and tail, on the outsides of the board, the base and edge is beveled up just a little bit, so it makes the board really catch free, And all the boards are regular camber too. They don't do any rocker shapes in their line, which I think is awesome. Lines up right with my philosophy. I do wish that they would do some additional contact points, but they're still tons of fun, and I plan on being on a battalion next season. But the reason I think it's such a great jump board is because of that triple base technology. I've never been that great of a jumper. I think that if you don't learn to jump correctly early on, you can kind of learn improper techniques for jumping and maybe introduce the possibility of hooking your edge as you're coming off the jump, which is something that's happened to me in the past. You know, growing up learning to ride in North Carolina, I was really focused on rail riding. So I think that battalion is going to really just give me that extra confidence with that triple base technology that's going to allow me to hopefully do some of the jump tricks I've been wanting to do over the last few years that I just haven't been able to pull off because of mental blocks or what have you. Kevin, what's up, man? So glad you hopped on here. If you guys don't know, Kevin from SnowboardProCamp is live on the live stream right now. Asking what I think of the huck knife. I did address that just a little bit earlier, but I think it's a sweet board, man. Someone asked if it would be good for beginners, and yeah, I think it's a really fun board. Personally, I think that the Salomon Ultimate Ride is just a little bit more comparable to the Capita DOA, which is what a lot of people compare the huck knife to. But overall, it's just a really fun snowboard. Got a review for that one on boardarchive.com if you guys want to check that out. And Erica, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Happy to answer your questions. Thanks for hopping on. But yeah, so I have a review on boardarchive.com for that board. If you guys want to check that out, we'll have a video coming out this winter that's going to be the DOA versus the huck knife, which I'm really excited to put out for you guys. Like I said, most people compare those two boards, so I think that'll be a really good video for you guys. All right, let me scroll up a little bit here and see what I can find. Lucifer Morningstar, thanks for the super chat, man. I don't think that one pins it to the top, but I appreciate the donation. Thanks so much, man. I'm glad you're enjoying your Fun Slinger. I really like that board. I'm glad the review was able to help you out. YR Guitar 1, have you ridden GNU Skate Banana? I have ridden one right when they first came out, which was years and years ago. I plan on getting one this season because I know that's a really popular board and you guys want to see some content on that. So that'll be going down this season. In the meantime, I did recently put out a review on the GNU Carbon Credit, which is going to be a little bit similar. And the Skate Banana is actually a LibTech snowboard, but no big deal. All right. Bob Richards, do you think muscle training is necessary when you've just started riding contests? I mean, if you're riding contests, it sounds like you're probably a pretty experienced rider, so I would leave that up to you, man. If you think that, you know, your fatigue level is good, you're able to, you know, you're not missing landings because your legs are giving out, things like that, I don't see any reason to do extra muscle training. Personally, I don't do that. I just try to snowboard as much as I can, and I find that that seems to be enough, especially out here in Colorado where we have these super long runs and you can get so many vertical feet and just miles every day you go riding. It really helps build the legs. All right, one more question and then I'm gonna get to a couple of questions that were asked on Kevin's recent live chat that I think he referenced over to me, so I'll answer those here in just a second. But the one I was gonna answer is from Ben Morgan. Have you got any tips on rotating spins? So I mean, as far as like 360s and 540s go, like or lower, you know, 180s, 360s, 540s, there's a good amount of videos on the channel talking about that type of stuff. It's really gonna come down to the way you initiate the rotation. So just keep in mind that your body is gonna follow your shoulders, which is gonna follow your head. So if you're trying to do a big spin, you're gonna wanna keep that head turned. And as long as you have your head turned, your shoulders are gonna be turned, your body's gonna follow, and you're gonna be rotating until you turn your head back forward. So hopefully that helps you out, man. I just saw a super chat come through, man. Fabio, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I have a Battalion Global Warmer, but I want to get a stiffer board. Not sure between the Haldor Pro or the Capita Outsider to ride park. What do you think? Well, I'm stoked you're on a Global Warmer, man. Like I said, I'm really a big fan of Battalion boards. Honestly, the Haldor Pro is going to be fairly similar, I would say. Flex-wise, it might be just a little bit stiffer, but I found that board to be right around a 4 out of 10, kind of like a medium soft flexing snowboard. So if you're looking for something a little bit stiffer, Capita Outsiders, I think that would be a pretty good option for you. That's definitely a stiffer board. Or I always get the Outsiders and the Outer Space Living confused, but the stiffer one of the two, I know. So I believe it's the Outsiders. It's more of a jump focused snowboard, about a 6 out of 10 flex. I'm gonna have a review on the 2018 one coming out here shortly once the Capita boards go on sale online. I've got everything all set up for that. Gonna have some video content based around that too. You might also want to check out the Lobster Sender. That's gonna be a little bit stiffer, or the Battalion whatever. Those are gonna be great if you want to stick with the TBT. You could also look at something like the Capita DOA. I think that could be a good option for you. That's going to be a little bit stiffer. And someone asked this earlier, but most poppy snowboard, in my opinion, so far is the Capita DOA. Super poppy. Really like that snowboard. Also, Fabio, on the website, if you want to, on the website boardarchive.com, if you want to check out any of the reviews. At the bottom of the reviews, I have links to comparable boards. So any of the ones I mentioned, if you go to the website, check out those links on the bottom, it might give you some more ideas. But I think the Outsiders could be a good option for you. The Capita DOA would be great, or maybe even the Lobster Sender or the Battalion whatever. All right, guys. So you guys have been asking so many questions today. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I was planning on only going for about 30 minutes, but I'm having a good time out here. The weather has been holding up for me. I thought it might rain, but it's going good. So we'll keep this going. I'm gonna take a pause right now from the questions you guys are rolling in and just get back to a couple questions that were asked on Kevin's live chat. One of those questions was, should you dull your edges? And I think that if you're going to be riding a lot of park, especially rails, it can be a good idea to dull your edges, but not the entire length of the edge. If you're going to be, because otherwise the board's just not going to have any grip on ice. So if it's going to be a pure park board, pure jib park board, you could detune the entire edge. But if not, you just want to get in the park, I would say detune it between the bindings. That's going to help you out, add some confidence, make the board have a nice catch-free feeling as you're sliding on rails. Definitely something I've done in the past. I've gone as far as dulling the entire edge. You know, like I said, a lot of rail riding in North Carolina. But that is definitely something that people do and could be a good idea for you if you're into that type of riding. I would say leave the edges kind of closer to the contact points sharp, so you'll still have some grip on ice even on your park board, or even as you're carving can help a little bit. The other question was, what's my opinion on the Ike Pro Model snowboard, which is a lobster snowboard. And that board is actually very, very similar to the lobster jib board. And we do have a video review on the channel for the lobster jib board, so I would recommend checking that out. And I also have a written review on the website if you want to check that out. So it's going to be a really soft flexing, really maneuverable, regular camber snowboard that has the triple base technology I've been talking about. Going to be great for jibbing and that type of stuff. Not too stable, not going to be that great for carving and you know, riding around real fast outside the park, but inside the park, especially for jibbing, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So those are the 2 questions I wanted to get to from Kevin's live stream. I'm gonna go ahead and interject right here as well, and just let you guys know that I did just get the store done on my website. So boardarchive.com/shop. I've got this shirt here available. It's a front and a back print. I don't know if you guys can see that, but those are available now online. We've got a team shirt. There's a few different shirts up there for you guys. I'm gonna be working on getting hats soon. Worldwide shipping, so no matter where you are, there's gonna be a way to get that over to you. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys want a t-shirt. The quality is really good. I haven't found that they shrink when I've been washing them. They're nice and soft. The print quality is nice. I think you guys will be stoked on it, so check that out if you'd like. All right, back to some questions. You guys are just rolling these in, man. Thanks so much. All right. All right, so I'm gonna answer Kevin's question real quick. What powder snowboards do you want to review this season in Whistler? I'm pretty open to boards to review. I definitely want to get back out there. Last year when we did that powder test day and I was on the Burton Fish, that was so much fun. I'd like to get on the LibTech Coho, or I don't know if they phased that out. We just got some new LibTech boards in the shop, and I know there is kind of a newer board from LibTech that doesn't have that swallowtail in it. Looks very similar, would be a lot of fun. I'd really like to get on that guy. I'd like to try the S420 that you've got. The Jones Hovercraft is a big one I'd like to get on. The Arbor Terrapin, that would be sick. Oh man, there was another one that I'm forgetting. I think it's another Jones board, I forget. I think it's the Jones Storm Chaser. That one looks like a ton of fun, so hopefully we can get on some of those guys. All right, I see you guys saying don't answer Kevin's questions. We can talk outside the live chat. I know, okay. All right, I'll get back to your guys' questions. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, so Kevin Esquivel asks, what are some good beginner boards? So as you guys might already know, I recommended the Arbor Formula last year as a beginner board. I think that is definitely a great option. Comes in at a great price point. It's got Grip Tech side cut, which Arbor puts in all their boards, so you're gonna have some extra grip on ice. It's a rocker dominant board, so it's gonna be easy to control. It's gonna be maneuverable. It's gonna be easy to do presses, and that could be a really good board for you. The GNU Carbon Credit, which I just recently put the video review on, is another great beginner board. And I'm actually gonna be doing a video specifically on some beginner boards for you guys. It'll be coming out probably next month, but sometime soon before the season starts, so keep your eye out for that, man. All right, Erica, another super chat, thank you so much. What is the best way to store my snowboard if I don't have a bag? So if you can provide some clarification, Erica, if I'm getting this wrong, but as far as like storage in your apartment or in your house while you're not snowboarding, I would just find, a nice, maybe in your basement, in the closet, somewhere that's not going to be extreme temperatures, not crazy hot, not crazy cold, although cold would probably be better than hot, but kind of, average range of temperatures. In the off season, you definitely want to make sure that you're putting a storage wax on your board, so you can go to your local shop if you don't have a waxing iron, but basically just throw some wax on the snowboard to prevent the base from drying out in the off season. A board bag is always going to be the best choice, because that way, if you're traveling, you can just throw it in the bag, you're good to go. But yeah, just in a closet, in a corner, in the basement, somewhere without extreme temperatures, make sure you're putting a storage wax on your board for the summertime. All right, worthlessness. How often should I wax my board? So how often you should wax your board depends primarily whether you have an extruded base or a sintered base on your snowboard. So if you have an extruded base, which is going to be, so all base material is basically made out of various types of PTEX. An extruded base, the PTEX is going to be melted, and then they're going to make sheets out of that melted material. So it's non-porous. So you can still wax an extruded base. You know, I'd say maybe after every 5 or 6 times you ride. You could probably go even longer than that. Or if you just want to not wax it until you really have to, just keep an eye out on the base and see when the edges of the base are drying out. If there's kind of a white haze, then you're going to want to wax it. For a sintered base, you're going to want to wax it a little more often. I would say personally after every 3 to 4 times that you ride. But the best way to judge it for either type of base is going to be to look at the base and see if you have any of that white haze on the bottom. That's going to be the best indication that you're going to need to wax it. And again, after about every 3 times you ride on a sintered base, I think that'd be pretty good. And you asked, how do you know if I have an extruded or sintered base? It's hard to tell just kind of looking at the board. I don't think there's anything I could tell you where you could pick up your board and look at it and know. I would just look up the specs, you know, go to the company's website, check out the board, see if it's extruded or sintered. Typically a lot of lower end boards, like around the $400 price point and lower, are extruded. 400 and higher tend to be sintered. So that's another way you can kind of guesstimate that. All right. So YR Guitar 1, how do you deal with really bumpy runs? That would be another good question to maybe ask Kevin on his next live stream, but I'll just give a quick answer here. I think the best 2 things to do is really kind of have a nice bend in your knees, so you can use your knees as shocks to absorb the bumps, so you're not like catching air over it. So your knees are going up and down with the bumps, helping absorb that. And also keeping your weight back just a little bit can help a lot with that too. All right, I'm gonna scroll up here and see if I can find a question from a little further back. We've had so many questions coming in. You guys are awesome. Thank you. All right. Man, so many questions. It's hard to choose one. I'm just gonna choose one. I don't even know. All right, Jeremiah Thomas, what's your thoughts on the ride War Pig? Thanks for asking, man. I actually have a written review on boardarchive.com if you want to check that out. We got a written review on the channel, so go check that out. I'm not gonna take up live stream time to talk about that. It's a really fun board though, I will say. It's really versatile, really fun. Check out the video. I had a lot of fun on it. All right, Josh Bennyworth, what brand hoodie do you wear and can you make a review? So most of the time last season I was wearing the Volcom JLA hoodie. I actually have seen a ton of people ask in the comments of the videos what hoodie I'm wearing. If you check the links in the description of the videos, there's going to be a link going to the gear in the video, and most of them have a link to that hoodie. So it's the Volcom JLA hoodie. I think evo.com has it, the house has it. There's quite a few places you can pick it up. But I'm hoping to get some Board Archive hoodies out this season, so keep your eye out for that as well. All right. Mauro, Park or Pow? Man, that's not a fair question. It depends on the conditions. I'll say if the powder is available, you will find me in the trees, in the back bowls, hunting for Pow, trying to get first chair, just because it typically, even here in Colorado, it can be a rare experience. But overall, I would say Park. I tend to ride a lot more Park than Pow, just because Pow's not always available. All right, Braden Abbott, flips or flat spins? I definitely flat spin a lot more than I do flips. I do like rodeo flips. I think that was the first invert that I learned. I think they're really fun. They're one of the easier inverts to learn. Starting to get tame dogs down. I did the learning how to tame dog video earlier last year, and yeah, that video came out pretty good. Check that out. Sorry, I'm trying to like read the comments as they come through while I answer, so I'm getting a little distracted. But yeah, front flips, Wildcats are in the books for this season. Gonna do a video on that. Although there is already one on the channel that Garrett did a few years ago on the Whistler Glacier. So check that out in the meantime. But yeah, Wildcats, tame dogs, rodeos. I think that's kind of where I'm gonna keep it. This year I'm actually really gonna focus more on flat spins, aside from trying to get that Wildcat and tame dog down. I really want to get 7s both ways, and maybe even start to get into 9s or 10s if I can pull it off. I don't know, we'll see. All right. All right, guys, I'm just gonna do a couple more questions here. It's been about 45 minutes now. Thank you guys for hanging out for this long. All right, let me find one here. All right, Callum Howarth, recommended angle to have bindings. I'm a beginner to intermediate rider and getting into park riding. So if you're getting into park riding, I definitely would recommend a twin duck-footed stance. Just so you guys know, the stance that I ride in pretty much every situation except for on directional boards is +15, -15. On a directional board, I might take that back angle down to like -9 or -12. I know it doesn't sound like much, but even going from -15 to 12 makes a noticeable difference for me. So for you, I would say maybe start off something a little more mellower. Start off, maybe you could try +9, -9. I think that would be a good place to start. All right, Elliot, someone's asking me to answer your question, man. Is that the one that I was just answering? Karen Hinge, can you do a 720 tutorial? If I get them down to where I feel confident enough to teach you guys how to do it, then sure, I definitely will do that. If not, then maybe I'll do a learning how to 720 video, because I'm feeling pretty confident I'm gonna get those down. I actually spun a few this summer, but I'm definitely gonna work on getting frontside and backside 7s going this winter. All right, Chris Wells. How we doing, TJ? I've just landed a job as a sales rep for No Bad Day, covering the whole of the UK. Awesome, man, congrats, that's sweet. Just wondering what your thoughts are of the brand and the products. I don't know if you caught the No Bad Day Reverence review, but No Bad Day was kind enough to give us a Reverence snowboard. It was a 155, and that was actually the first review that we did this summer. I liked it. It was a fun board. Regular camber. I know that No Bad Day is a kind of upcoming brand out of China. I kind of want to just get on more of their boards. I don't really have an opinion on the brand as a whole yet, just because I've only been on the one board. But congrats on the job, man. I think that's going to be a lot of fun for you. And if we can get more boards over, then I'll do more reviews and kind of get that more full picture of what that brand can offer you guys. Worthlessness again, thanks for the question, man. Is rocker or camber better for free riding? In my opinion, camber unquestionably. Pretty much all free ride boards that you'll find, which is going to have kind of a directional shape, but you're still going to have a good bit of tail for stability, are going to have a regular camber profile. So I would definitely say camber is going to have a much more precise in control feeling. It's going to be more sturdy, and it's just going to be more fun for carving at high speeds. All right, just a couple more questions, guys, and I'm gonna wrap this up here. So, Braden, if you can retype that question, I will answer it. I lost the question, man. There's so many comments here that it's really easy for stuff to get lost. So, or if you want to do a super chat, then I can actually see it. But yeah, you guys have left at least a couple hundred comments or more by now, so I really appreciate it. All right, so quick one, this won't count as the last one, but iMailbox asks, who's your favorite pro snowboarder? I think I addressed this last time. Haldor Helgason, been following him for a long time. Sick rider, super inspiring. Love that guy, make sure to check his stuff out. All right, last question. And this, I just found it, Braden. Elliot's question was tips for threes off rails other than turn your shoulders. So this will be the last one, guys. I would say if you're gonna be doing front side 360s or trying that out of the rail, you're gonna wanna hop on front side 50-50. That's gonna help you initiate that front side rotation. But really it is all about leading with your head and shoulders and allowing that to get nice and twisted up. And then when you hop off the rail, it'll come around really naturally for you. Likewise, if you're trying to go backside 360, maybe give it a try hopping on with the backside 50-50. I really think that helps set you up to get your shoulders ready to turn and get that rotation out. And I know it's kind of scary, but off down flat rails, it can be easier to do frontside 360s. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I'm completely overwhelmed with how many comments we got. Thank you guys so much. I'm hoping to keep this going. I'm gonna try to make this a weekly thing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. So again, the Battalion Fun Kink review should be coming out later this week. Written review will be going up soon. We'll have a bunch of 2018 Capita reviews going up soon. We got merch coming out. I got Board Archive merchandise. Got this t-shirt, a couple other options available to check out. boardarchive.com/shop. Kevin also just got a new website up, which is sweet. You guys should check that out, SnowboardProCamp.com. Gonna have some merchandise out on that website as well, some Snowboard Pro Camp merch. And yeah, just thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna keep this rolling, and just thank you. I'll see you guys next week.